And in Live and Breaking, we start off straight away with breaking news coming in from Pakistan. Pakistan Finance Minister Ishaq Dar has said that the deal with the IMF is at an advanced stage and that it is likely to be sealed within 24 hours. And that's what Ishaq Dar is saying. Joining me now for all the details on this declaration by the Pakistan government, by Pakistan Finance Minister Ishaq Dar in particular, is my colleague from Pakistan, Kaswar, joining me. A very good morning to you, Kaswar. Good news for Pakistan soon. IMF to come to its rescue. We believe that the deal, if the Finance Minister Ishaq Dar is to be taken at his word, the deal with the IMF is to be finalized within 24 hours. What are you hearing from your sources?
Well, you have rightly pointed out. It could be very good news for the government, the incumbent government, for Ishaq Dar as well. But let me tell you that it's a shame for a nuclear armed state that is desperately waiting for 2.5 billion to 3 billion US dollars, and it has been waiting almost for 9 months. And indeed, as you have rightly pointed out, it can be a very good news for the government because it has been desperately waiting for cashless. In fact, as of now, I can tell you that it is the historic government in Pakistan, which is practically cashless, and we are actually on the verge of being, cashless as well, bankrupt as well. But in this scenario, it could be very good, news for the people of Pakistan, for the government as well. But on the other hand, it is actually a shame for any government which claims to be a nuclear armed state, which keeps pace with world's third largest economy like India. But on the other hand, they are practically cashless. So it can be a very good news for Ishaq Dar as well. And I am getting from his sources that the discussions are still going on with Pakistan's financial team, with the IMF as well. And they are very near to strike stop level, agreement of 3 billion US dollars. And another good news for Pakistan is that the total amount has exceeded to 6 billion US dollars in next 3 months, and Pakistan have been expecting for 2.5 billion US dollars. And yes, you have rightly pointed out it can be good news, but on the other hand, for the millions of Pakistanis, they have been, facing catastrophic measures taken by the government. The Pakistan is basically a cashless state. Inflation is on the high, and as well, given that the high inflation, unemployment, it can be a very good news for Pakistan. But still, let me tell you that they have not, the IMF and Pakistan has not reached any sort of agreement. These are just the reports coming out of, IMF, but through sources as well. No official word either from the IMF and either from the government of Pakistan as
well. Kaswar, as you take us through that and what it could mean for Pakistan, if you could take our viewers also through the major roadblocks towards arriving at this deal, and how has Pakistan dealt with the crisis in recent days in particular? I mean, Bakr Eid has just been celebrated, it has just been observed, and how did people cope? How are people coping through this terrible time? But most importantly, if you could take our viewers through the major hiccups on the way, the major roadblocks that led to this 8-month delay.
well. That is very simple. IMF have been asking the government, Ishaq Dar's government as well, because I'm telling you, Ishaq Dar government, because in a country which is cashless, which is cashless, then the IMF dealing has been on the back foot as well. So in this scenario, the finance minister carry the weight as well, and that is why I'm telling you that Ishaq Dar-led government have been waiting for 9 months, because IMF has asked the government to take several measures, because when IMF gives money, it needs to get it back as well. So some sections have been provided by the IMF. Had already asked the government to take measures like rising. It has asked the Pakistani government to, raise fuel prices and other, the commodity prices as well. But the government had failed to implement IMF deals, IMF, conditions as well. And that is why perhaps the government and IMF deal took 8 to 9 months. But still, as I told you earlier, that all of the news is coming from its sources, and both the Pakistan and IMF has not actually stricken the staff level agreement. But we have to see how the future holds for Pakistan. But in case if the sources are correct, then definitely IMF deal would provide some sort of relief for the people of Pakistan that have been that have been kicked out by the inflation, unemployment, and other things as well. Dollars, price have reached at the climax. So these are the, some difficulties faced by the government as well as the millions of Pakistan. But on the other hand, IMF actually have been asking government of Pakistan to devise a strategy, and that the government of Pakistan had badly failed to devise. That is why it took 8 to 9 months. And now the government claimed to have formulated a good strategy, but we don't know the details of this strategy as well. Now, we are hearing from the either from the IMF agreement can happen in next month in July, but we don't know because there is no official word either from the IMF and either from the government of Pakistan as well. It could be a good news, but on the papers as well. But we don't know. Actually what the future holds for the millions of Pakistani. Tens of thousands of Pakistani have been leaving Pakistan for better, better employment. And last month, we have faced a catastrophic news that the 300 people of Pakistan were actually drowned offshore Greece. So this is the situation which I can tell you on the moment is. So that is why the people of Pakistan and the government of Pakistan have been desperately waiting to strike a deal to get $3 billion deal from the IMF that can reach to $6 billion. But there is no official word at the moment.
Right, no official word at the moment, but the sources suggest that a deal could be arrived at very soon, that the roadblocks to the clinching of this IMF deal, the deal with the IMF that would bring relief to millions of Pakistanis, could be finalized in just 24 hours. Many thanks, Kaswar, for joining us there.